Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be running through some of the songs and music that I've found most memorable in the racing games that I've played over the years. So when I put together the video last week talking about the Horizon anniversary update, the 10-year anniversary, and talked through the fan favourite music that supposedly they're adding, it got me thinking, what was the music that I particularly liked in other games of that era and older, and a couple actually newer. But yeah, like I say, this is memorable music, not necessarily music I like or my favourite. As you will see throughout this video, or more accurately here, it's quite a varied mix of music. Some brilliant songs in there, and some interesting. So we begin way back in 2004 with Gran Turismo 4, although I didn't actually play this in 2004, I got it a few years later, but it was still one of the earliest games I played. That Kaiser Chiefs track always seemed to play with that challenging rally thing challenge through the tight city streets.
This is where I'll be, so heavenly, so come and dance with me, Michael.
And that final track there by Kasabian was actually in the title sequence in this classic game, at least in the region that I played it. Apparently in the US, they actually got some Van Halen instead in their intro, which I am slightly jealous of. Now we move on to 2005, a brilliant year for racing games it seems to turn out. There were several in here, but we begin with Midnight Club 3 with Pain by Jimmy Eat World, which I actually thought originally was in Midnight Club LA, but I was remembering it from this game, which was even longer ago, which I find hard to believe. Strangely though, I don't remember that track being in that game. I do, however, remember it playing in one of the old WRC games. I think it was WRC 4, which was also 2005, so that's probably round about where it came out. But I remember driving around the test area map aimlessly with that playing and crashing a lot. And of course, the third and final game from 2005 is Need for Speed Most Wanted. We couldn't talk about 2005 games without including that. So yeah, I didn't necessarily like the music in this game, but it did fit that very underground, sorry to use a Need for Speed title as a pun there, vibe of the game, and I didn't actually realise it had a Jamiroquai track in it. And now we jump forward to 2006 with the first Test Drive Unlimited game, although the music is a jump back in time in this one. So in contrast to the underground vibe of the music in Need for Speed Most Wanted, this was a very different vibe that I have to say did fit the whole test drive feeling very well. And a couple of years later, in 2008, Midnight Club Los Angeles comes along with quite an interesting mix of music, although I remember a feature on the PlayStation 3 at the time where I could listen to my own iPod through it, so I often did that instead. But anyway, there is quite an interesting selection here, some of which are quite good tracks and some no, not so much. These though are the ones I particularly remember hearing in that game.
Ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I rob
but it's not necessarily about the music itself. It's just hearing this immediately brings back the memories and takes me straight back to when I first played this game. And a few years later we find ourselves in 2011, also a brilliant year for racing games, as you'll see with these two titles, starting of course with Test Drive Unlimited 2 with this track.
Daddy was a DJ.
My daddy was a DJ.
Which, yes, did literally repeat that small sentence for 4 minutes. There was, of course, other music, including this. So, as well as Test Drive Unlimited 2, Driver San Francisco launched in 2011, a few months later, with a real sort of funk and soul vibe to a lot of the soundtrack of it, with some real classics, actually.
Ain't about nothing except an old John Deere.
In the air, you hear it everywhere. No matter what you do, it's gonna grab a hold on you. Are you like me now? Are you like me now? Exactly what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is.
And of course, the year after that, in 2012, Forza Horizon came along, with the 10th anniversary obviously coming up in, well, less than a month's time now. So these will pretty much be the same tracks that were in last week's video, but nevertheless, I always think Forza Horizon had one of the best gaming soundtracks.
It's black and white and blue. I'm the cat with the bass and drum, going around like bum bum bum.
You are my cinema, I could watch you forever.
Farewell to the fairground.
Say I told you so, alright.
Sometimes I get a good feeling.
I'm a lonely boy. I'm a lonely boy.
If you're with me now, show me a sign.
And I'll be honest, I only included this one because of the name of the artist. It's just fantastic. And finally, well, really pushing the boundaries of what we can call a racing game and what we can call an old racing game, given it's still the current installment, we're going to finish up with Grand Theft Auto 5, which released way back in 2013, which is quite hard to believe, although I don't think I played it for at least 5 years after that. But anyway, that game had many radio stations, as we know, but just about everything from Los Santos rock radio was incredible. So I'm going to play most of that now.
All the things she said, she said.
My love is a miles away. The eyes that just stare.
Like velvet and that little boy smile.
Independent heart, the unmistakable fire. Carry on my wayward son. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Circle in the sand.
Highway to the danger zone. 'Cause I'm a dirty white boy. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No. Giving all your loving. Don't let up until we're looking for a heartbeat. Bring me a fire. And most Hollywood nights.
Can't wait, I can't wait.
I don't care anymore, G. I wouldn't wanna be like you, yeah. Love's the only thing that keeps me here. If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Lonely is the night, Mississippi Queen, working on a night move. All I want is to have my
The only other station on there that I occasionally listen to is Non-Stop Pop FM, which also had some absolute classics on it that we can't miss out of this video.
It's probably 'cause you think you're cooler than me.
Windmill, windmill for the land, the forever hand in hand.
I want it that way. This is the rhythm of the night. Oh, night. Oh, yeah. The Eastern boys and Western girls.
And that brings an end to today's video. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me for my musical journey through racing games from 2004 to 2013. Let's be honest, it went quite drastically downhill from there in terms of music, and actually in terms of creativity and ideas in the games. Yes, they look fantastic now, but I still love those old games. I don't know if it's just the memories that go with them, which, like I say, is why listening to this music now just brings back the memories of those games, even if they're tracks that I don't like, let's say. But anyway, do let me know what you thought of the music in here. Which game out of that list is your favourite based on the music? Or did you have a favourite racing game that you used to play? What tracks was on that? Was there anything particular you think should have been in this video maybe that wasn't? Or did you play different games that had fantastic music? Or maybe you listened to different radio stations within the games I've mentioned today? Do let me know what you think, but for now, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.